All right, here we go. We're just a couple of days away from UFC Fight Night London. Your first big event in your home country. How proud are you, first off? I've been asking this of the British fighters. How proud are they as British fighters to be competing on home soil? This is your baby in your home country. How proud are you?
It's an enormously proud moment for us as a business, but also for myself personally. You know, it really struck me when I saw the UFC logo on Potter's Fields. You know, looking out onto Tower Bridge. You know, that was kind of a realization that this thing is actually happening. These are wonderfully exciting times for mixed martial arts and for UFC in this country.
And main events don't get much bigger in terms of a British fighter and a legend. You know, this is a fight that Michael Bisping has wanted for such a long time. We're getting it here in the UK. How much of a statement of intent, especially given the fact that all the tickets were gone in advance, was it that you actually managed to put this fight together for this event?
I think that sums it up perfectly. You know, it was a real statement of intent in terms of our commitment to this market. You know, it would have been very easy for the execs, given how complicated it is to put any card together. You know, seeing what's happened with 196. You know, these things. It's like herding cats, you know, trying to get this done sometimes. So for them to make the decision to put this fight here after we'd already sold the arena out is a massive statement of the commitment and a reward, frankly, for the UFC fans who've supported this business for a long time and bought tickets to be part of the event, to be part of the experience. You know, they trusted us that we were going to do something, and we've thankfully we've delivered. So I'm delighted. It's going to be a hell of a show.
And just to throw back very briefly to Dublin, there were a lot of challenges that week. Obviously, in fact, even before that fight, we lost the co-main, Ben Rothwell versus Stipe. Then we lost the main event during fight week, and it was your first event in charge. How valuable was that event and all of the running around and changing things at short notice? How beneficial is that to you and your team going forward, that you had to deal with all of those challenges in Dublin?
Hugely valuable. You know, I think the team really kind of came together around that event. You know, the changes that we had to make. You know, all the stuff which goes on behind the scenes, which a lot of people don't understand. You know, and there's no reason why they should. But you know, this is a big operation that we're running here, and to make those changes as quickly as we did, as smoothly as we did, and then to get the response that we got from the Irish fans who stayed on and supported us, even though the card was decimated. You know, Dana said to me afterwards, as I said in the press conference, you know, Dublin's the best fight town on the planet as far as he's concerned, and I think I'm pretty sure that any other card would have been cancelled, but Dublin, we always knew the fans were going to show up, so that's further ingrained Dublin in the UFC's hearts, put it that way.
And this weekend, obviously, another absolutely packed event full of British talent, and looking at the growth of the UFC, not just in EMEA but here in the UK, to have this crop. Obviously we've got Michael Bisping at the top of the card, who's a veteran, who's been there for a long time, but we've got this new breed of British fighter coming through, like Tom Breeze, Arnold Allen, guys like this. How important is it that we can find new stars and really push them to the fore here in events like this?
Look, new stars are the lifeblood of any sport, you know, and that's what everybody looks for. That's what everybody's seeking. Like you say, it's fantastic that we've got this new crop of fighters coming through. This thing it happens all the time in mixed martial arts. You know, when I first joined, you know, Anderson had broken his leg, GSP had retired. It was, you know, the business was perceived to be struggling from a stardom perspective, and now look, we've got Conor, we've got Ronda, we've got Holly Holm, you know, we've got all these athletes who are coming back. Anderson's back in here and as big a star as he ever was. So I think we're in a situation whereby the more of these people more of these fighters we can find, the more they've got a hell of a platform on Saturday night to become a star. And you know, I'm sure one of them, if not all of them, will try and take it.
And we've got two events coming up later in the year, or even later this spring, in new territories. How important is that as well, that you're able to not just put on shows in territories that you've established as growing entities, but also to go out to places like Zagreb and Rotterdam and introduce the UFC to a whole new country and a whole new audience?
It's great. Look, I mean, the slightly nebulous region that I look after at EMEA is 145 territories. You know, we've been to 6. So we've got a load of places to go. It's fantastic for us. It looks like the Croatia event will sell out. It's very close to sold out already. Rotterdam, I think, will go in a matter of hours. I think that's going to be similar to a kind of Dublin and Glasgow with the demand that we have out there. But what we're trying to do is to build that demand in these markets before we even go. So we've got a number of different markets and a number of different territories which we're looking at as kind of the next staging post for us. But we've got too many places to go and not enough time. Sadly, but to be honest, every time we do an event like the one we have in London, every time we sell out Croatia, every time we hopefully sell out Rotterdam, it makes it easier for me to go to Dana and Lorenzo and say we need more European events. So we're kind of, us and the MMA community, we're all in this together.
Obviously, with the UFC in the United States, Las Vegas is the jewel in their crown. That's their home base. That's where a lot of their events are based from, and a lot of their big fights tend to take place there. In terms of Europe, is that base here in London, do you think? Is London a jewel in our crown in terms of EMEA?
Look, it's always going to be close to our heart because this is where the office is. This is, we're a mile and a half away from where we're sat at the moment. So this is and for us, what's big and important in London tends to be big and important across the rest of Europe. So this is a place that the whole UFC infrastructure have come into. It's always a great show. So London is our Vegas. I know that's for Europe is somewhere which we'll always try and come back to. I know we didn't last year. Circumstances outside of our control, sadly, but we're always looking to come back to London, and I think it should be a fixture in our calendar.
Right, and other than your professional capacity, you're a fight fan. You're a fight fan. We're all fight fans. That's why we love this great sport. What fights on this card this weekend are you particularly looking forward to? Perhaps from more of a fan's perspective, which ones have you picked out as ones that you're going to make sure you're not running around backstage when those fights are on?
Well, apart from the main event, obviously, there's two which stand out for me. First one is Tom Breeze. His performance in Dublin was sensational, and the fact that 4 days later he won a silver medal in a jiu-jitsu competition. I'm interested to see him fight again, and then. The main one which stands out for me is watching Brad fight. For him to get the stage in London, hometown boy. He's been such a fabulous ambassador for the UFC and for mixed martial arts throughout his career. For him to come out into that arena, I think will be a special moment for him, and I'll definitely make sure I'm there to see it.
Great stuff. Brilliant. Thanks very much.
All right,
perfect.
Okay.